Welcome to the Octave tutorial. There's not much Octave tutorials out there, so we're talking about every single effect on this device. It was going to come up eventually, but my name is Playgue, and let's talk about the Octave. The Octave is available on Input Effect and Track Effects A only, and we can't pair this up with Granular Delay or Tape Echo for some reason, but you can after the fact with Track Effects. I want to take this time to explain a little bit of music theory so then we can understand what an octave really is and what it really means. I promise it's not going to be boring or complex in any way. This is just the basics to understand this effect. This will also help you several other effects like the transpose, the guitar to bass, the pitch bend, the robot, and a couple others. So you have notes, right? C, F, G sharp, A flat, whatever. Some of those notes go together well, and others don't. Like, for example, an E4 and a C3 play really well together. Some other notes that play really well are separated by the same distance, like 2 keys apart or 3. But some notes don't sound very nice together, like an F sharp and a G. Ugh. What even is that? Notice that you may not understand anything about music theory, but yet you can still recognize that that doesn't sound right. There's a reason for that. When they go together, we say that the notes are harmonious or in harmony. Well, in music, we give those notes names. We give them a letter name. But in physics, they're given a number. Stay with me here. Put your nerd hat down. It's not that crazy. The number we give the notes to in physics is written in a unit called hertz. Or, if there are a lot of them, kilohertz. An octave is just the ratio of the distance between two notes that are 2 to 1. In other words, if I have a note that is 4 hertz, one octave above that would be 8 hertz, and one below that would be 2 hertz. Let me give you a concrete example here. So let's say we had a more realistic note of, say, 60 hertz, all right? One octave up of that would be 120 hertz. One octave down would be what? Would it be? Now, if I play these notes together, they should sound nice and harmonious. To bring it back to music nomenclature, an octave is the same note but +1 or -1. Like if you push a C key on the keyboard, then an octave up is also a C note. And an octave down is also a C note. Those are all called C notes, but they're one octave apart. Does that make sense? Now that you understand a bunch of these effects musically, it should make sense to what the machine is trying to do to the sound. The octave is trying to take the input, moving it down in pitch by cutting it in half, or twice for 2 octaves, then outputting the raw signal and the new processed one. And this is what it ends up sounding like. You can hear the extra note that is in my voice. And here it's even lower and almost unintelligible. And then we also have both at the same time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's talk about parameters. We have mode and we have octave level. That's literally it. I've already shown you mode, which you can layer 3 sounds if you want. Your original sound, an octave below that, and 2 octaves below that. But we have the octave level. This is the volume of the effect itself. So this does not change the volume of the input that you're doing. It just changes the volume of the affected sound or the octave sound. So this is kind of like your balance. So the higher this is, the louder the octavated sounds are. Because there isn't much in the way of control with this effect, with only 2 parameters, there isn't too much we can really do with it. But we'll try our best here. Let's talk about how this effect is different. So with the transpose and the pitch bend, they do not output the same signal. They will completely convert the signal into something completely different. Robot uses filters to only output certain notes. Like A, B note. Whereas with the Octave, we can change our tone, and the Octave will follow that with its octaves. And the guitar to bass is different because it adds a lot of power to the lower frequencies. You can hear the lower frequencies aren't boosted as much. This also won't do much with lower notes and bass lines. So if you have a really low note that you're trying to octave, it's not going to do much at all because you won't be able to hear it because it's going to be in frequencies too low for a human ear to hear. Additionally, in the actual octave itself, the -2 octave is already like sort of quiet because how it gets mixed into the effects. But you can fix this with EQ. All you have to do is boost the lows and you can fix that. This means you'll have to kind of play around with the EQing of the octave a little bit to really test one, get the lower end out. But it's not as bad with the -1 octave. It's just really bad with the 2. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use this effect to harmonize with yourself, and it seems to work better than the chorus in terms of the goal of harmonization. The chorus does its own thing, and you can watch the chorus tutorial on what that does. But if you are looking to harmonize with yourself, the octave seems to be the best tool to use in terms of harmonizing. Although, again, you want to kind of play with your levels and your volumes so it's not too overwhelming. Another cool trick with the octave is you can create a whole string section with just a press of a button. Check this out. Add some chorus in there. A little bit of reverb. Now you have a whole orchestra. You can create some real dark type beats with this. A last tip that I will give you is you can use this to add depth to a sound. Like if we have a little, like some notes here. Cool, that's pretty cute. But if we add an octave to it of even just a simple -1, that adds a little bit of depth. If we include a vocal distortion to really highlight that lower end, as well as a little bit of reverb. Hey, we got a good track going here. I like that. So you can hear how much I hope this gives you some ideas that you can use with the Octave, please come up with several more, because we honestly need more ideas to use with the Octave. But if you want more information on octaves and frequencies and music, I left a link in the description talking about that. But let's look at a track that utilizes the octave.